Galileo is ready in a few months, and that is good news. Galileo will provide a very good accuracy in the positioning of the vehicle in our case. This is very important for automatic driving functions.
It is the EU program for satellite navigation, so it is really an infrastructure which is built with EU money, with EU know-how, and it's an infrastructure we have in our hands. We are therefore have in this very critical area strategic autonomy. Today, 10% of our GDP depend on the availability of satellite navigation signals.
Automation is, let's say, the new Eldorado of the automotive industry. This is something that everybody speaks about. Even in this respect, it is a totally different discussion if you speak about lower levels of automation or of automated specific functions, and a totally different story if you speak about full automation or even higher levels of automation. Positioning becomes more and more critical. GNSS systems becomes more and more critical as the level of automation becomes higher. And if you go towards full automation, which is still a concept that we will see in a few years from now, then issues like data integrity, issues like availability, reliability, accuracy, you may need to go even below 20 centimeters, that is what we expect to see by 2020, is a must.
We'll need roads, that's clear, but we'll also need connectivity and further on automation. For connectivity, that's obviously connected V2V, so vehicle to vehicles, but also V2I, vehicles to infrastructure, and vehicles to X being new servers for all kinds of organizations. And for that kind of connectivity, I think satellite connectivity or satellite means can also be an add-on to cellular and short-range communication.
The European Galileo system is complementing the other positioning systems that are already existing, starting from the American one, GPS, or GLONASS, the Russian, or the one that is developing by China. Having a European system makes sure that we can have continuous availability of the service, and this is for autonomous driving and automatic driving very important.
The system is encrypted. What does it mean concretely? Let's suppose you take your autonomous car and you say, I want to go home. If you have a system which is not well protected, this car could be hacked by someone, and you can be driven to a place where you don't want to be driven to. And so with Galileo, this is not possible, because the system, the signals that you will receive through Galileo is actually secure, which means that if you say, I want to go home, you really go home, which can make a huge difference. You have to realize that Galileo is already operating now, and it's a system which is already available. You don't know it, but in most of the new phones, actually, Galileo is already there. Second element, I would say that already now the precision of Galileo is much better than GPS, because we have a precision which is below 1 meter, while actually GPS most of the time 2 or 3 meters. And the third aspect is the fact that Galileo, we are improving the system of Galileo, and very soon we'll be able to provide an accuracy of 20 centimeters. And with the idea even to go lower than 20 centimeters. And that makes a huge difference, you know. Difference between 1 meter or 20 centimeters when you drive or being driven by a car. It can drive you in a good place or not in a good place, depending.
And one of the key things that come up regularly, also in the European Parliament, when we talk about automation in the latest report, for example, in the Tran Committee, is how will the consumer perceive all these, well, technological nice things? Will he trust it? So cyber comes into play. Traffic rules come into play. Mixed traffic, which means analog and digital. How do you reconcile these two together? We don't invent deserts here with new cities there. So my key, would say, invitation is an open dialogue with cities, with road authorities, road operators, the toll operators, but also with governments and with European institutions, and ultimately with the drivers themselves.
Well, the idea of the EU and the European Commission being involved in this project is basically we provide the infrastructure, we provide the tool, and then it's for everybody, the companies, SMEs, to develop product services on this basis. So basically it's for free. So Galileo is a free signal. It's open to anybody. And so what we hope is a lot of companies will develop product services on this basis.